Hello and welcome to another video. Today I am playing with 2High2Drush, one of my close AoE friends. He is in green here as the Portuguese. I am in blue as the Goths, and we are playing on the map Rivers. We don't really know this map very well. We haven't played it very much. It's somewhat open, but kind of deceivingly closed, as there's only a couple of crossings across these rivers here. We are playing up against Johnny, the Yellow Dravidians, and MGX, the Red Vikings. So we're pretty unfamiliar with the map, so at this point we're just trying to scout it out a little bit, using sheep and our scouts to try to get an idea of where everything is. My thought is, if I can get a villager across into the enemy's base before any walls go up at the shallows, at the crossings, then I can probably get some good damage in on him in Feudal Age. So that's my play. Basically, the Goth early game aggression strategy. Usually it doesn't work on... Oh, look at this. He's patrolling the crossing here. Okay. Now he's going forward to scout the enemy's area. As am I. Anyways, I think that at this point, so we're starting to understand the map a little bit. 2High is Portuguese, so you generally think organ guns. I actually did manage to spot Yellow's scout, but I didn't let him draw me all the way back to the town center, and I used that as an excuse to get my villager across unmolested. So the villager is able to get across here without the scout spotting it. I felt like that was important. So I felt good about that. Taking my second boar. Meanwhile, 2High is still scouting around Red's base. He should be aware the TC's close at this point. Ooh, he spots this boar. Check this out. He sees this boar, and then I think he's thinking about it. Yeah, he's going to try to take it. Yep. Alright, so now he's going to try to take this boar back to the TC. So that's pretty impressive. You don't see that very often these days. Not at this elo. We're only at like 1100 elo or so. But Red's scout actually sees the boar steal and is going to try to stop it. And 2High's over here. He's got some villagers to secure the... Oh, he did actually stop it, but the villagers were there. Nice save by 2High. And Red decided he was going to try to attack the boar. Now he's going to attack the scout and take the scout out. So 2High loses the scout, but he does steal the boar. So oddly enough, Red hasn't taken this boar either, and he does see it. He sees that boar, but he didn't take it. So weird. Meanwhile, I have moved this villager over to the behind the trees here, so it's less likely to be spotted. I just am trying to get to Feudal Age. I did click. Yellow's on his way up. Blue and I are on our way up. Red is not on his way up yet because apparently he's not a meat eater. He's not going to eat the other boar. 2High stole one. Good play, really. Now, I did come over here and walk around. I spotted the deer, and I said, "Ooh, I don't want to build too close to those because he's probably going to come out and chew those up pretty soon. In which case, he might spot my villager or the barracks." And sure enough, at this point, he does not see the forward barracks. Although Red actually came forward, even though he's in Dark Age, he came forward and built a forward barracks on 2High. So with 5 villagers, so that's a threat 2High's got to deal with. 2High is making his own barracks, actually 2 of them, right next to his town center. And he's in Feudal Age as well, so he's going to try to deal with that. Meanwhile, okay, sure enough, Yellow is making a mill here, going to take these deer. But thankfully, he stays just outside the range of spotting the forward barracks. Red is being annoying with these forward villagers. 2High is making an archery range to help out. I've got 4 militia, which will be men-at-arms in 5 seconds. 2High also just got the men-at-arms upgrade so he can deal with these villagers a little easier. Oh yeah, that's not a good fight for the villagers. Well, he might win that. So I saw that the deer was getting eaten, so I moved forward, and unfortunately it was right at the time that they were done with their hunt, and then they were going to head back to drop it off. Now, Yellow has actually made a couple of archery range and is making skirmishers. Not sure what the thought process was there. Skirms have a bonus against archers, but Goths are known for their infantry, not their archers. So unless he was expecting archers from 2High, I don't really understand the thought process there. I did manage to kill these 2 farms with my scout, which I felt very happy about. So that's 120 wood that I essentially stole from Yellow. In addition to, I did manage to kill one of those villagers who had food in their hands. And he does not know about the forward barracks yet. In fact, there's 2 forward barracks, so I can just keep this production going. Meanwhile, 2High is over here denying this archery range at 85%. So Red was really trying to get an archery range up now that he's in feudal age, and 2High's going to deny it. So that leaves him just with this barracks, which is probably not what the Viking player was wanting to go with. So that pretty well neutralizes the threat. Meanwhile, I came over and discovered Yellow's wood line. I'm actually going to go ahead and take out the lumber camp. And 2High is walking these men-at-arms forward across the map, and he's walling up. Probably because I was hounding him about it. He is known for not walling on maps like this, so so it's good that he's finally walling. I didn't realize, but there's another path across the rivers here in the middle that neither of us really think about. But at this point is when I see that Yellow has another lumber camp over here. So gonna go harass this wood as well. He's still got a few skirmishers, although he actually brought those around to my base, and I had to run my wood villagers so they didn't die. I tried to make a barracks to fight that at home, but he managed to deny that. But I was able to pull these villagers around to the side and then finish it from the other angle, and then go make a lumber camp over here. So now I'm going to make a few men-at-arms at home to take that fight. Meanwhile, still harassing his resources over here, and he is kind of stuck here next to the wood line. That was my only wood line, so it was annoying, but I just moved my villagers over here. Now he's going to try to build a tower at his own base. Unfortunately for me, that tower is within range of the town center, so as I try to deny it, my men-at-arms will just die. So it's a pretty good tower. It's going to protect the gold and the wood here from men-at-arms. If I had archers, I could still harass those, but I don't. Meanwhile, I pop out with 3 men-at-arms here, and actually managed to clear up all of these skirmishers, and I didn't lose a single men-at-arms in the process. So, note to self, 3 men-at-arms can kill 8 or 10 skirmishers with no casualties. Pretty impressive. So that threat is cleared up. Now my base is clear. He actually had come across in these transport ships. I didn't realize that. Meanwhile, 2High is over here harassing the gold, so he forced Red off of gold. Now Red's going to try to take this gold. I am honestly probably just trying to get up to Castle Age. Red is on his way up to Castle Age, and 2High is also on his way up to Castle Age. These are just those 2 men-at-arms and the archer that he built to defend from this forward, and he walked those over. So he hasn't actually had to invest that much into army, despite the forward that Red put on him. And he's managed to get good value from this over in Red's base at this point. Now I killed that mill, so if he's going to want to take the berries or the deer again, he's going to have to build another one. He is luring my men-at-arms to the TC in the tower, so good play on his part there. 2High is over here on the other gold, so he's denied both golds at this point. And he's got Red off of stone, although Red did make a skirmisher to deal with it. Oh, 2High got in on the wood too. Red doesn't notice, so he's going to lose a couple of these vills at least. Oh, wow. Nice job here. This is good damage. Free damage. These villagers could fight, but I guess he's pulling these away on purpose. Either way, this should show us that he's back on stone. Alright, so these men-at-arms are probably going to get dealt with eventually, but remember what I said earlier, men-at-arms kill skirms. Real easy. But if the men-at-arms are attacking villagers, then the skirms get free hits. Yellow still does not know about this forward. I actually moved my villager over here to protect her in case he did spot it and take it down. Then I could have additional barracks forward. This man-at-arms is still getting damage over here. But it will eventually get taken out by these skirmishers. Red has all these forward buildings, which is still throwing me off here, but I'm finally clicking up to Castle Age. I'm a little late. I tried to build this market. I sent villagers to make the market, and then I sent them to make stone, and then forgot that I didn't make the market. So I actually had to use... I needed the market as my second feudal age building before I could click up. But then I also didn't have the resources, and I had to use the market, so... Yellow's still just going with skirms here. This is probably not a good decision. I'm coming over to bake a mill. I was going to take this deer and then these berries, but I really should probably protect that villager. I did send these men-at-arms around to Red's base, thinking I could get some damage in on his wood line. Meanwhile, Red's building a castle. I'm not sure, did I spot that? I did not spot that. I did manage to kill a couple of villagers on the Red's wood line here, so that's at least something. But there's some archers and skirms, should probably clear that up. Archers are a lot more effective against men-at-arms, as is Castle Fire, so these are going to die. I've forgotten about them at this point, to be honest. Meanwhile, 2High is booming. He is up to 3 town centers, 53 villagers. Red is only at 29, and check out all these deer over here. He's not eating those. Didn't eat this boar. This is not a meat eater, is he? Meanwhile, big fight over here. I think Yellow saw that I was making a siege workshop, which is very unlike me to have a forward siege workshop, but he saw that and is making a couple of siege workshops of his own. He doesn't have the TC garrison, so I'm able to get some good kills over here. He's probably thinking, he's actually thinking armored elephants to clear these things up, because at this point he did send a skirmisher over here to scout, and he sees the forward. So I guess he's trying to think he's going to take out these forward buildings. I thought he'd do some scorpions, because those will be good against infantry. But alas, this is what he's doing. He did pop out this armored elephant right into my men-at-arms, or actually they're longswords now. So longswords do more damage, have more HP, more armor, so they're obviously stronger. And now I've got the old mangonel to the TC, and Yellow is losing villagers fast. He still only has this one town center, and there's long swords on his berries, there's long swords on his siege workshop. There's a mangonel on the town center. I made a few pikes as well because the pikes will do better against the armored elephants because they are a form of cavalry. Meanwhile, Red is sending these berserkers that he made out of his castle over to help Yellow out a bit over here because Yellow is struggling. I got 39 villagers compared to 35 from Red, 25 from Yellow. So Yellow is still reeling here. He's making villagers, but no doubt he's struggling for resources. He's running out of wood at this wood line. He's been making scorpions, but those are dying to the longswords and to the mangonel. Yeah, so the longswords, once they get up in on... ooh, he's going to try to fight with villagers. Oh, he backs up. Now, the berserkers are coming to join the fight. I'm going to take care of these villagers and then get in front to kill the berserkers before they can get to the mangonel. I just want to save this mangonel more than anything. And somehow I win that fight. Berserkers are usually pretty good against the infantry. But he didn't have enough of them. And I managed to step just outside the range of the TC at the time of the fight too, which helped. Now Yellow is actually going to run some villagers at this point. Now these are actually the men-at-arms that I made all the way back at my own base. I finally remembered them and walked them over here. So these are harassing these villagers. It's actually sending these back, and these four are going to go out and try to escape. I think he realizes that this is not a good spot for him. He's going to have to run. Meanwhile, 2High and Red are both on their way to Imperial Age. I am not thinking about Imperial Age at all at this point. I am just thinking about how can I wreck my opponent. So at this point, I do see that he's got these villagers fleeing. So I try to send these units out to kill as many of those as I can. He's got 22 villagers right now. He's got 4 across already. These longswords will take out a good number of these before they make it to safety. But he will at least get 4, probably some more out before he loses the rest of his base. Alright, so 2High is in Imperial H. Red will be there shortly. I did make a second town center, or I am making a second town center. So finally starting to think a little bit about something other than attacking. I'm also getting armor upgrades for these so they do better in the fights. Yellow managed to get, let's see, 8 plus these 4, so 12 villagers out. He's still got this villager and this villager as well, so that's why it says he's got 14. Yeah, so Yellow is pretty well wrecked at this point, and we're just trying to think, okay, well, now we got to take on Red. Red's got the stone wall here, so that's going to make getting across harder, but 2High is making a transport ship, and he's about to send some knights over. Meanwhile, this is still open, so he could have also run the knights around, so I guess that's another way. I am sending 12 infantry forward, thinking about taking the attack to Red. One thing I think is important in games like this is to keep the momentum going. So I think that, like, now that I've killed Yellow, now we need to take the fight to Red while Red is not yet prepared. So that's my thought process here. I really should be moving this mangonel forward as well. Got these units just sort of harassing the buildings that are still left here. Gonna take this dock out so these fishing ships have nowhere to drop it off. I'm actually gonna send these units around to the top of the base. At least I was going to, but now I see that he's got this town center here. So, alright, so I fake like I'm going back, but I'm actually going to turn around and loop back around to the other side of the eco. Now 2High's got some villagers forward. I'm going to build a castle over here just to protect the entrance to Yellow's former base. And 2High is going to build this forward castle. And honestly, in retrospect, it's probably too aggressive, knowing that Red's an imp already. Because, check this out, Red's got a trebuchet already. And while we don't know that yet, we're about to find out. Thankfully, though, I've got my army over here. 2High's got his here. I don't know if 2High would get this castle up with this treb on it. Even if he did, he'd lose it shortly after. So we go in, dive in for the treb, then take the fight with the berserkers. I'm going to lose all my army from this, at least all the army that's in Red's base, but 2High will get the castle up. And 2High, I don't think he even lost any of these knights. Oh, no, he just finally lost one. And he's going to get the castle up and be able to make trebs of his own. Meanwhile, I'm making this castle. I'm moving forward with the mangonel, naked, without any, like, support. Kind of a bad move there. Now I'm moving these forward. Okay, good. So we should be able to get Red from two sides. 2High got the Cavalier upgrade. He should be able to get some good raids here. Although, Red's base is very compact and defensive. I don't think do we realize there's yellow over here? Oh yeah, we do see it. Okay. He's got 3 town centers and a castle. 3 town centers and a castle, all within range of each other here. So, look what yellow says here. The map generation was much different than usual. No wonder thou wert victorious. I shall abdicate. That's a that's a reference to what the computer player says when you're playing against the computer. That's the way they talk. They talk in like Old English like that, or Middle English, and they blame their loss on something silly like that. So that's pretty funny. Anyways, pretty good game on both of ours part. 2High did a really good job clearing up the forward from Red. Great job stealing that boar. I did a good job getting the sneak village across while the scout was distracted, getting a couple of barracks up, siege workshop, and absolutely wrecking yellow. And then we came together and finished Red off. All of this on a map we had not really ever played before, so we were a little uncomfortable with it, but made it happen. 2High got the good boom in, 108 villagers. In fact, I could just show the statistics on this. So 2High had the high score because he had the economy lead and technology lead. I did have 101 kills, 26 buildings raised, and then 41 army high, so that's pretty good. Economy. Looks like Red actually tried to sling Yellow a little bit to try to get him back in the game. Might have had to sling him some stone to make a town center or something. And then 2High actually got a couple of relics. Castle times were not very good, but that's okay. On this map, you're not looking for a fast castle time usually. Well, Red was doing a forward, and so was I, and then Yellow was going skirmishers. Let's see, the total villager count. Yep, so 2High with the 108 villager economy, so he was by far the leader in that. I was actually second in 55, but I was definitely not booming very much because I was focused on army most of that game. And then poor Johnny was taking the brunt of it and never really got on his feet there. Red got a little bit better going, but could not hold up to the pressure from 2High eventually. So, good game.